Am I bold enough to read every chapter of me out loud and tell the story of my life with the things that don't make me proud? With all the mistakes, all the heartbreaks, all the old aches with these high stakes, could I tell the world it all? No, this version is still edited for the benefit of the rest, but that doesn't mean I'm only showing you the best. There are dark days in my old ways, as the world frays the stupid replays every time that I could fall. So prepare for a mix of stories, with every word true, even with the contradictions. It's honest, I promise you. Here's to us and our survival, not perfect on arrival, but with this new revival, we'll take on the rival of who we were told to be. I was never the impulsive type, then stood roadside thumb out. I wouldn't recommend the risk, but with you I didn't doubt. London, just us overnight. No money and no plan. No, I never was impulsive, but I took your hand and ran. The evening, with no place to stay, found our bed at Victoria. This red shell our one night home, a small piece of euphoria. No, impulsive is not what I was, but what I am is free. If I could, I would do it again, once more, just you and me. Abandoned, I am cast aside, so I'll make this my Aia, this isolated plane of mine, begin a witch's career. I cannot leave this residence, there is nowhere to return. These mistakes I won't repeat, you live and you learn. Like Circe, I will take the earth and use its gifts for life. There is so much more to me than my history as a wife. So I take this new-found family, though I've not far to roam, and like magic form a better world, a new place to call my home. How long is the journey as the crow flies? I think a lifetime as I hear its cries. With broken bones and a broken shout, this bird just waits to make it out. Somehow intertwined, nest next to nest, I see your fate now as my own test. Free like a bird with damaged wings, yet through all its gasps, this bird still sings. It might not make tomorrow, but neither could I. Too grounded by trauma, and still we try. There is no quiet fading, no more saying goodnight. Birds take hold of their journey, so stay up and fight. I feel the pull of the earth and the reach of the sky. In this chaos that I call my soul, I scream, sing, laugh and cry, all at once. My whole body is built of love. More than bricks, it's my foundation. And there is so much strength to that, more than in all creation. It is mine. No hellfires could scorch this heart, no holy water douse its song. In spite of each break from others, in this love I can belong. It is me. All at once, it is mine. It is me. Love. Learning to stay out of my own way is easier said than done, because I know me, and all I can be is this unapologetic someone. And sorries demanded are not earned, I'd rather stand than sit. You may think me a demon for my existing, but I'd rather lose than quit. I'd rather be unorthodox and live like a paradox than fit in a bubble buried under the rubble of who I'm expected to be. Ask of your God why I'm still odd in spite of your exorcism. I'll do myself proud and make my voice loud in a world of anarchism. I'll make my own peace in what I build for myself. I'll be richer than you could believe with a greater idea of wealth. I'm still sober. I don't remember the day that the choice was made. I woke up that way. and started working for it, started a battle internal to survive the years and be clean eternal. I'm still sober, but I've still felt the laughter where I couldn't breathe or stop crying after, and the smile could stay for as long as I needed with those better thoughts I had self-seeded. I'm still sober, and I manage my addictions with a loss of control and stopping predictions of where I'm going and who I'll be with, because I'm still sober and I choose to live. Sometimes when I try to stand, I don't think I can hold up the weight of this lifetime of circumstance and still somehow spin every plate, because I have a history littered with horrors and mistakes, and with this pressure on top of me, I wait to be the one who breaks. The damage inflicted, the truths held restricted, I could not have predicted how heavy each loss, and all of the cost in every goodbye, lie, mistreatment and crime. I've lost all of my energy while making sure I was there. I look at the abuses and pain, trying to show that I care. All the things stolen from me have no hope of being returned, and in an attempt to help everyone, I look up to find my bridges are burned. I'm learning to ask, to take off the mask, to manage the task of learning to tell, to get well from every goodbye, lie, mistreatment and crime. I'm no tragedy, not a casualty. In spite of fragility, lack of stability, I'll be ever free, hold identity, have the ability to retain me despite you. I find myself haunted by something unexpected. From my happy memories I cannot be protected. The fear of them leaving to never repeat. Those positive ghosts I cannot defeat. Can I face a future that's so unreliable? That would make hiding more justifiable. But maybe it's time to dance with each ghost and love all these moments I fear the most. I'm tired of the stories, darling, the uncertainty you bring. It was fun when we were younger, when we could dance, play and sing. You'd spin a yarn of tragedy, lies of who you were. You'd play with my heart too often, always saying you're unsure. The will they won't they love, the treadmill style of living, was more exciting at the start, but time is unforgiving. Discussions of our married life followed by its ending, promises of forever love before confessions of pretending. I felt the fight was worth it, there was perfection in fragility, but your ego took and took from me when I needed stability. You left me and you lost me, and expected I'd return. But I'm tired of your stories, darling, so I will let them burn. Sun sets over Durham City from the back seat of the bus. Listen at the window pane to what fresh raindrops discuss. Is it a tale of woe today, or do they dance with wonder? I fear I will never know, as they're drowned out by thunder. Secrets stale in the air, as the clouds continue screaming. Maybe it's better not to ask, just to keep up with my dreaming. I remember that moment, the cold we stepped out into. We'd stood there before, past glass doors we walked through. I stumbled near the road, almost crushed by a car, because I was looking up at a vibrant shooting star. Memory is hard enough, I can barely picture your face, but these feelings of that moment, time could never erase. Yet maybe time is tinted, because I simply can't recall what it is I asked for, if I made a wish at all. My love is like no other kind. It is fully eternal and unconditional, bypassing all the warning signs and never settling on traditional. Once given, I live in your corner, in spite of wrongs that you would commit. Every slight fight, each crime, my whole heart would acquit. And I intend to never see your face again, but should our paths ever cross, I would summon all my earthly power to aid and dispel each loss. You, whose cruelty is unmatched, with horrors that I dare not share, I want you to stay away forever with the comfort that I once was there. Do I dare to tell our story of the horror and the sweet, of all the tears that I held secret and sorrows you laid at my feet? Do I dare to open up this now, all the reasons I had stayed, the moments that were magic and the cruel games that you played? Do I dare to sound so gullible that I fell for all the lies, accepted the manipulation, the control with no disguise? Do I dare admit it all and the part that I have had, how I defended such awful things, how I hid away the bad? Do I dare to bear the shame of all of our mistakes, of going back to him so many times, of being the one who breaks? Do I dare to own my own faults, that I let down my friends, abandoned and ignored them to reach my partner's ends? Do I dare say that I knew the cheating and assault, burying these facts deep inside, feeling I was the one at fault? Do I dare to use the word, with the power that it can hold? The physical is awful, but the mental leaves you cold. Do I dare to have the courage to start again, to walk away from everything when there is so much to explain? Do I dare now to accept it, hope these lessons learned will last, with the aid of friends and family, step from the shadow of the past? It's a blessing to feel colour, even when that colour bleeds. Charge head first towards the fire, going where the vibrance leads. Cry alone with pen in hand, and scream out at the trees. Emotion overpowers action and infects like a disease. But sunrise never looked so golden, and the rainbow never seemed so real. The same thing that knocked you over is what gives you the strength to heal. So many stories thought to be rare are not uncommon, they're everywhere. A bad person with criminal acts, playing mind games while their partner reacts. Another stalker, one follows you home. Another ensures that you can't be alone. Love you and leave you, abuse and neglect. All of their actions on you they project. I hear all the stories and soon realise the concept of rarity is built up on lies. Those giant cliffs were crumbling, we walked single file beneath. Collect the relics of time gone by before we become what's underneath. Imagining the world we crossed, the tide coming even further in. Where does this memory end and this make-believe begin? Hear the sounds, the calling, as I cling into broken walls, avoiding it but then unafraid of what happens if it falls. I told my mother my plans to be strong enough to hold others up, to be the hand that holds another's, my arms prepared to envelop. But those giant cliffs keep crumbling with the weight of travellers, and the erosion of the salty air, sometimes a breakdown occurs. It's been years since that day passed. I tried too hard to hold too much. With love and loss and chance to live, I've unlearned the cliff's damaged touch. In my lungs, air or ocean, let it sink, fall in motion. The overflow, the undertow, dragged and drenched, wrecked and wrenched. I breathe water out, struggle to shout before I stand and leave this sand.